When I was asked to speak this morning, I wondered what I could say and realized I could only bring you what I have. A Jewish message that perhaps offers some insight into Jesus' world, as well as our own. So I offer you a short teaching on this week's Torah portion, the part of the Jewish lectionary that Jesus and his community would have used this week as a springboard for their learning, and the Torah portion that Mike Beauty London is studying and reading from Friday. Your studies have moved you, perhaps even called you, to embrace your personal step and bring your unique gift to the world. That's why we're celebrating you today, and that's why you are deserving of these extraordinary robes that we are all wearing. But the story in this week's Torah portion, Exodus 27, is not just about the details of the high priest's clothing, although there are a lot of details about that. I'm struck by what's not there in this week's reading of Exodus 27. It is rare to find even a paragraph in the book of Exodus that doesn't mention Moses. He is the main character of the book, and like we said. But Exodus 27 does not mention him even once. The focus of that chapter is completely and utterly on Aaron and his family. If you were filming this chapter, you could give Moses the day off. His presence is not needed. And therein perhaps lies a deeper message for us about leadership. There is no such thing as a sole leader. While Moses plays a leading role in the Exodus story, he is part of a leadership team. God shares a vision of a land of milk and honey with Moses. But there is absolutely no way that Moses can get the Israelites there on his own. He needs Aaron as his communications and relationship expert. He needs Miriam as co-leader of a key constituency, the women. He needs Joshua's military expertise. And he needs Yitro's management consultancy and wisdom. In giving this chapter over solely to Aaron, perhaps the Torah is teaching Moses to remember to share leadership, to make space for others. We all have our role to play. We cannot and should not follow Moses, nor does God want us to be. Moses needs to be Moses, and to make space for Aaron and Joshua and everyone else. So I want to take a moment to recognize the leadership team that helped each of you to reach this day. Your families, your friends, your teachers, your communities, all of those without whom you could not have achieved what you have. While you may be the one wearing the robe, they deserve their chapter in this story as well. And as I close, I'd like to extend the metaphor one step further. If the message of today's Torah portion is about leaders ensuring that we make space for others, I want to acknowledge Sarum College and all of you for making space for me. It is marked to me how far Jewish-Christian dialogue has come in the past 8 years. One can argue that it is only since the Holocaust that Jews and Christians have begun to meet each other as equal dialogue partners, as opposed to defining ourselves against each other. True dialogue means making space for your partner to show up in all their fullness, even when that feels uncomfortable. and when their story doesn't align perfectly with yours. I grew up in the Baptist Bible Belt of the American South. My sister and I were the only Jews in our entire high school. My friends, evangelical Christians, all of them, spent a good chunk of their energy trying to convert us and save our souls. They meant well. They were my friends. They genuinely believed that I was going to burn in hell, and they wanted to save me. It was done out of love, but it wasn't respectful of Judaism as a legitimate path to the divine. That community was not capable of making space for a Jewish narrative to sit authentically alongside Christian narrative. It was too threatening to them. But we fast forward 40 years, and here I am at Sarum, a place where I can show up as a Jew and you welcome me, alongside all the complexities that faith raised for your Christian narrative. In turn, you, my students, show up as serious Christians with all the complexities that brings for me. And together we share our religious commitments, we read scripture together, and we gain new insights from how the other reads it. We notice where our interpretations don't fit together easily. And we honor that as somehow part of God's plan for us. And that's why I'm spending my Shabbat morning here in church. Because in addition to being an observant Jew, I am a Jew who makes space by Christian sisters and brothers who in turn make space for me. I like to think of God smiling down upon us as we do so. And so I'd like to end with a verse from our shared scripture that captures that. It's in your pamphlet. Hine matulu umanayin shed achi amlafa. How good and joyous it is when brothers, and I will add sisters, dwell together. But instead of me simply reciting that verse, doesn't it feel more appropriate for us to do it together? I'm going to invite you not just to recite it with me, but to sing it in a tune that every Jewish school child learns in kindergarten. In Feimatzo Bumanayim Shevetalim Gagachat In Feimatzo Bumanayim Shevetalim Gagachat In Feimatzo Shevetalim Gagachat In Feimatzo Shevetalim Gagachat Hine matzo Shevetalim Gagachat Hine matzo rumanayim Shevetalim Gagachat Hine matzo rumanayim Shevetalim Gagachat Hine matzo Shevetalim Gagachat Hine matzo Shevetalim Gagachat. I'm not getting you in Morgan. You sound so beautiful without it. We are going to start with this side. And then I'm going to bring voices. And I must say, I've never sung this in the church before. I mean, it's fantastic. I like that. Don't tell my rabbi. You ready? How good and pleasant it is for brothers and sisters to dwell together.